with MakingStarWars.net.
Good evening. I am Jason Lord from MakingStarWars.net, and this is my artist. He paints me in everything I do. No.
It's March 24th. We're all stuck in Saturday school. I'm just drawing the whole thing. You should check the date, 1984. It's a red letter day.
God, man. I'm not going to lie, dude. In the 80s, I would have probably eaten Ali Sheedy's dandruff. I'm just saying. I probably would have. She was supposed to be ugly, but she wasn't. She took the glasses off, and you're like, oh, you're beautiful.
I told you, man.
She didn't wear
like
glasses,
War Games. I was at this girl's birthday party. Like this friend of the family, they were close. They had these two daughters. Right. And the oldest daughter was her birthday, and we watched War Games on her TV. Right.
Yeah.
Like when they first came to Betamax or some shit like that. And afterwards, she took me to the room, and I got the French kiss because we saw the old Ali Sheedy, move. Yeah, it was 1984-ish, Like,
thanks, Matthew Broderick. You really hit the brother.
Because if Eddie Brock forced that wouldn't have happened. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
She was
my first French kiss was over a Kenner. I think I talked about it on the show, over a Kenner Hoth Echo bass play set that I didn't even get in the end. The mom caught me on the way out and said, "You're not taking that." It didn't even have any accessories. It had nothing to it. It was just the bass, but no regrets. So today we got a Kenobi story, and I saw this one kind of blowing up everywhere as I was trying to get to this. I was trying to get us there. I was taking us there. I'm talking about Jabiim. I'm talking about partisans. I'm trying to get everybody to ask, what are they doing? Why are they there? Nobody's asking this. And then I start to see everybody's jumping. I saw Den of Nerds. I saw Meg. Everybody's like dancing around this like very topic that I'm like getting to. And I was like, okay, I planned on getting to it tomorrow. So can you spot today's typo? I hope there are none, but there's probably going to be several because I had to kind of get my...
Hold on. There's a YouTuber called Vader's Lair, right? He's all right. He's cool, dude. He cites you, shows the site.
Thank you, Vader's Lair.
Watching him try to make sense of some of the typos because he's younger, and he's like, "What do we?" It's come on, like I'm like yelling at it, like like when you yell at Wheel of Fortune and you can see the sentence but they can't see it,
Yeah. Well, whenever I have that, feel free to let me know. Nicely, I'm sensitive. But let me know and I'll fix it. But that's what's honestly usually I'm able to kind of like sit around for a while and write the article and then look at it and put it out. But trying to do the live show 2 hours a day and that it's something's got to suffer, unfortunately, and it's my typos. I'm doing this as a one-man operation here, so I'm doing my best.
Well, if the algorithm would hook you up, you could afford an editor,
right? Yeah, it won't though. It keeps demonetizing shows where we don't even do anything bad. Which I wanted to say we were today's show I wanted to be called Obi-Wan Kenobi and the Foreskin. It totally makes sense because that's what it's about. Obi-Wan Kenobi and the Foreskin. But here we go right here. No foreskin in this episode. We're talking about Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi and the Force Colony of Jabiim. Right? Dun, dun, dun. Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi and the Force Colony of Jabiim. The Jedi on Jabiim. I have recently written about the humanitarian efforts by Saw Gerrera's partisans in Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi. The question has been, what or who are they protecting? Are they protecting Jedi? From a certain point of view. A certain point of view? Yeah, they are not Jedi, but rather Force-sensitive beings. These aren't Jedi. We will discover Jabiim's sinkhole Clone Wars era base has refugees hidden inside who are Jedi material. There is basically a colony of young people who have been Jedi and who should have been Jedi, and thanks to Order 66, they are in hiding. That's the concept that was conveyed to me. Speaking to people on set for this, I don't think many of these Force-sensitive people will survive this chapter of Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi. Darth Vader purged troopers with new helmets, and Inquisitors seem to finish them off. That said, never say never. Hopefully Saw Gerrera and the partisans did not put all their eggs in one basket, says I. Jedi Fallen Order. I cannot help but think of Jedi Fallen Order. At the end of that game story, we had Cal Kestis leaving it up to the Force to help Force-sensitive children after the destruction of the holocron that acted as a ledger of names of Force-sensitive kids. That's a big sentence. And is this the natural continuation of that story? I honestly cannot say. I have no indications of Cal Kestis or his involvement. But the Star Wars universe as depicted in Fallen Order is everywhere at the moment. BD-1 was just in the book of Boba Fett. Where's his friends? He's just by himself now. What happened? Nur from Fallen Order is a major part of Chapter 4 of Kenobi. Purge troopers and Inquisitors are also in Fallen Order and Kenobi. So it seems like they were really into Fallen Order while developing this wave of Star Wars content. This new generation of Jedi have been given Kyber crystals. It almost sounds like maybe the Underground Railroad I've been talking about are hoping this becomes a new Jedi Order that will take down the Sith. If so, you have to admire Saw's ideas. But also remember that it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. It doesn't work that way. So, but maybe Saw Gerrera is trying to set up everything so it can, The New Hopes. As mentioned before, Kenobi begins his adventure thinking he is guarding the last potential Jedi. I wanted to write Kenobi begins his adventure thinking he is guarding the last Jedi. But then I would be like, well, I said they're not really Jedi at top, so I couldn't do it. You win. Sequel trilogy canceled. When Nari comes to Kenobi, Kenobi has to leave the young Jedi to his own devices, and he meets his end. I have to think when he discovers this whole colony of hidden Force sensitives, it fills him with hope for the future. Based on the information at hand here, if the Force sensitives do die, I do not see how that works to improve Kenobi's mental health. So I have to think or hope there is a crucial piece missing, a shot I don't know about or something. That said, sources on set think this does not end well. So I'm leaning towards most dying, but maybe Kenobi knows a few live. Maybe he knows there's another base like this. Maybe it's one of 5. I don't know. I also spoke briefly on the Making Star Wars show. This show you're watching now that you should subscribe to and like and click the stupid bell so you know when I'm talking my stupid words. We heard from a source that was pretty convinced that Leia healed Kenobi. Trash trucks outside. Sorry, they're bringing the garbage out. I was like, that doesn't make sense. Like Leia healing Kenobi doesn't make sense. She literally tells Luke, "You have a power I can't even possibly understand," or whatever she said. She does not get that power. She doesn't think she has that in her. So I'm going to throw it out there that there's a chance that these Force-sensitive children, these beings, I don't know if they're all kids. They could be 25 for all I know, but I'm told they're youths. I think that they heal Kenobi. I think that they're the ones who bring him back. And
what is a Ute?
What's that?
What is a Ute?
Right? I mean, some people are 64 years young today, somewhere. Speaking to people on set for this, I do not think. Oh yeah, 50 years young. I do not think any of these Force-sensitive people survived the encounter. Darth Vader purged troopers with new helmets, Inquisitors, blah blah blah. Everything seems to go bad. And then a little corrections corner here. I wanted to make sure I just got out there. Yesterday's story about Kumail Nanjiani holding on to Kenobi's lightsabers was incorrect. Kenobi has his saber for the second duel. However, he does not have any backup. And I was able to get that confirmed to me. Also, Indira Varma is listed as Tia on IMDb, and this was simply her code name. I thought I should put that out there too while I was at it. And yeah, so I hope that was titillating and gets you really pumped for the show and everything like that, and everybody is excited. Hey, Chris Owens, thank you for becoming a channel member, dude. Much appreciated for the support. It helps us do it. So yeah, so that is do it now. So
do the spoilers now. Do it. Give me all the spoilers and then correct them tomorrow.
Right? I know. I try not to do that to us too much. And I did say, like, I'm trying to make sense of this. I was like, this is a working theory. Knowing damn well if I put it onto the site, I don't like to do it too much, but that I would get the answer. That's why I did that. I was like, okay, I had a couple sources. Okay, look, you dummy. You know what I mean? Look. That's not how it goes.
This is the voice of your spoiler. Look at here, making Star Wars. You want to write the stupid shit, or you want the truth?
Yeah. Well, so
like,
and then
I'll
I
take
had
the truth.
Well, and I had somebody who was like connected to the production, going like, "You want to hear something weird?" I'm like, "Yeah," and they're like, Kamal Nanjiani's character might be like a sabersmith or something, and I was a little bit like it kind of doesn't make sense, but maybe it does. And you know what I mean? Because like I you know, the whole time I've heard he's like a Han Solo character, but then he's not exactly as he seems. He ends up being good. So there is a chance that when the shit goes to hit the fan, I know he has a bunch of sabers on him. I trust this source. So I've been trying to figure out what that means, and I'm thinking that maybe Nanjiani just starts fucking cannon the sabers out to the kids when the shit hits the fan. So maybe it's gonna go that way. I'm just throwing it out there that maybe it goes this way. And but when I was talking about how there were no Jedi, I was firmly told there are no Jedi, and that's because these aren't Jedi. These are Force sensitive kids that are being, or Force sensitive young people who should have been trained to become Jedi and never were, or are about to be murdered by the Empire because of the powers that they possess. And so apparently, kind of a cool story in a way. You know, Saw Gerrera's like, listen, I think we just put a bunch of kids in the same room with the Force and we give them lightsabers and we see what happens. He's like, step 3, profit.
That's the kind of training you need. You got to have training. Just shove them in a room with some sabers like Discovery Zone. And then you can sell it to Discovery Zone. You can do a marketing promotion.
Star Wars Santa says to deploy the likes. Star Wars Santa can see what you're doing. If you don't do it, he'll know. Johannes says it would be really cool if they made a Clone Wars style animated series about Luke's Jedi Academy with Ben Solo. It would be cool. Because this one gets all wiped out, so it ain't this one. Let's put the sound of things.
Who said that? Someone new, right? What's her name?
No, Johannes. Johannes is always around.
Johannes
is always.
No, man, that's like 3 years ago. Like, like, I get you, but like, you know what I mean? Like,
I think you Johannes got in under the clock. Didn't know really what we were talking about today, and it was kind of like, you know what, that would be cool though. And I agree, Johannes.
It'd be really great. We got Tales from Maz Kanata's palace. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I get it, but it's just like, it's a ways back, you know, like
General Dale. Yeah. It was pretty funny because I was like really working on that info today, and then I had to jump on Star Wars Santa had some internet issues, so I jumped on his show for a few minutes, and I was like, oh no, wait, I'm supposed to be somewhere. So as soon as his show was done, I was like, I had to sprint out of the house.
You know, my Cold War sensibilities have been on, you know, my Cold War sense, like spider sense has been on for the last month, you know?
Yeah.
Anytime something goes wrong in a house, like the internet's out, I'm like, is that the bomb? Is that the bomb?
Is that it?
The bomb?
Is that it?
Yeah. You know, I'm like, right back to 1985, dude. You know, like, fuck.
What are you talking? Dell's all, wow, I'm unsubscribed, but I'm still a member. Dell, you're not allowed to unsubscribe. This is a cult, man. You don't get to leave. You're in a cult now. Just so you know. Can we make Dale take him down from a stage 4 to a stage 3? Yeah, that's right. Hope you learned your lesson, buddy. You better resubscribe. And then thank you, Chris, for becoming a channel member. Chris, welcome to the cult, says Dale. Hey,
welcome to the cult.
Man, it was pretty funny. We won't get into the specifics, but somebody sent me Tibor sending a real douche a message on Twitter, and it was so cutting and hilarious. But then the comedy of it was, then people started accusing me of being Tibor, and I'm like, these people, you really can't win with them. I mean, you can't win with them.
Oh, because no one would ever defend you. It'd just be you making sock. But look, anyone who has secondary accounts, like the whole idea of that, it's so weird. I didn't even consider that an option until like Tim Schafer made a sock puppet joke, like on GDC or on the Game Wars ones, right? About commentators or gamer gators or whatever. And I was like, what's the sock puppet? And they're like, oh, these are multiple accounts they put up. I'm like, what? People do, yeah, it's where they harass and they bump things. And I'm like, in a fucking life, like seriously, like seriously, like if that's what you got going on, I mean, honestly, I'd rather get addicted to just watching porn than ever do that, you know. Like,
well,
more productive use.
What was cracking me up is, and Tibor's not like a prolific Twitter person. He hasn't been using Twitter as far as I can tell, or whatever. But it's like, with it, and the support is appreciated, obviously. Like, you know what I mean? Somebody saying the truth is appreciated always. But it's like, if I want to draw something to something, I got to do it on my account because my account gets more attention. So like, it's never even an option for me to fake that I'm somebody else. The only time I've ever used a sock was I went on my music account, which is the Fortracula account, and said, hey, dude, you're wrong. What you're saying is wrong. Because that person had me blocked, but still continued to talk about me one time. And so I did that. But that was it. And yeah, it's pretty funny, though. Because I was like, man, Tibor, you can't win, dude. But Tibor says, interesting stuff. Does Leia meet Vader in the show? I don't know. I honestly don't know if Vader and I haven't heard that Vader and Leia have a scene. But I do think that Vader is probably well aware because she's there. You know what I mean? So in A New Hope, they talk like they already kind of know each other, right? And so that right there is probably like, maybe this is the start of the Vader Leia sort of like slightly covert kind of thing. Like, he probably wants to kill her, not knowing it's his daughter, and he probably can't do it for political reasons.
My grip around that little girl's neck and just youngling her, you know, like,
I just want to do this with the force, push those cinnamon buns into her brains. That's probably what he's thinking, right?
It's dark, man. Like, when you start, you know, because he can't kill her, but then he would want to kill her. Man, that's some dark shit, you know? Like,
yeah.
And it turns out she's his daughter too, which is just another layer of darkness.
Dell says YouTube did it to me. YouTube has been messing us up lately, by the way. Like yesterday, it didn't tell people like we did a show. I had like X-Wing was like, dude, your show's not even listed on your page right now. I was like, what is it?
I've noticed that sometimes it doesn't show up on the page until like a day later.
Yeah, it's so weird. But Dell's back. All right, Dell, you are now a stage 4 Cult of Order again. Welcome back. You were always part of the family. I hope you felt the coldness of being outside of the subscription base and how there was no love in the world. There was definitely no Star Wars.
I won't lie, Dale. Chris wanted to ditch you altogether, but we told him no.
Yeah, it's true. And that's why I told him, I'm like, you know what, Chris, go to bed. It's Australian time.
Nate, we're friends. I actually like your art. It's James that hates you, writes all those notes. Like, no, you know what? It wasn't Chris. It was James.
Yeah. Santa, what are you doing? Santa, you don't got to give me $10 for stepping in on the show today. But thanks, man.
That's for the help with the elves, Jason.
You crushed them with your indomitable spirit and your crack of that whip. I'm like, what are you talking about, man?
No.
Come on.
Oh no.
Santa, I just said, can you please get back to work? The children are expecting gifts, and there are forced colonies on Jabiim with kids that are suffering. Can you please?
I was watching Star Wars Meg today, and I noticed her thing is Star Wars Meg SWM, right? And so the t-shirt guy in me goes, all right, so Jason it should be Star and then Jason Ward, so you can be SJW, right? Like,
oh shit,
just to troll the fuck out of these guys, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Star Jason Wards, see?
Yeah, that's me.
SJW, just watch their heads fucking. They'll be like, remember Big Trouble in Little China when that guy got real big and it just exploded?
Yeah,
and they threw like rubber pieces out for skin. It's my favorite,
right? Oh yeah, and it was, and then watch if you follow all of the YouTuber stuff, watch like the Den of Nerd? Yeah, Den of Nerds. Josh's show. He gets into some of the stuff today that I talked about in the article, and I was like, man, if you had I could have went on your show. I could have told you all about it. We could have things, but there you go. It's out. So that's I got a feeling that a lot of people are going to be like, hey, that means Cal Kestis is in this. He's in this for sure. I can't confirm that. I haven't had the actor there, and I haven't had anything about him, being involved. I haven't seen anything that directly links him, and I have not seen BD1 involved either.
And I stand by the fact that unless how do I say this? If it makes sense, don't count on it.
Mm-hmm. That's sometimes fair.
Yeah.
Well, it's like here's there's like two ways of looking at it, right? We got Nur, we got Purge Troopers, we got Inquisitors, and we got what seems like a plot line continuation in a way. And so we have and then we have BD and Book of Boba. So we have like 5 things that all connect this game to live action Star Wars today. And so does that mean it's inevitable? I can't say that word today. Or does it mean or does it mean that we have hit the line? Enough. We've hit all the Jedi Fallen Order checkboxes we are allowing. And sorry, Mr. Kestis, you're back in Fallen Order too. A part of me feels like
we'll let you go to Batu and promote some toys,
I mean, well, because Fallen Order 2, when that comes out, it does seem it's going to be, it's called Jedi: Fallen Order. So the big question is will Jedi Fallen Order 2 be called Jedi Fallen Order? Or is it called Jedi? Is it called Star Wars Jedi? Cal Kestis.
That would be boring.
Adventure, right?
Star Wars Jedi.
But boy, do they love those trademarked words or whatever, So that tends to win out, which is why they don't like Ben that much, but they love Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's why we've seen it in
almost the last names. Jedi. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, the penultimate Jedi.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Right?
Yeah. Or maybe what if it's called The Last Jedi, but it's using it in a plural sense?
It's got a question mark at the end.
It's completely different. No, this one means a bunch of Jedi. The other one meant The Last Jedi as in Luke or Rey. This one means all of these guys, But anyways, Santa, you never have to do that. Thank you. And I will step in any time. I was happy to help, man.
Could have used that money on Shamrock Day, Santa. Thanks for nothing.
Could have used it for a ShamWow, Santa. Now I will. I think I'm gonna get that ShamWow. You ever see when the ShamWow guy got his face bit by like a sex worker? That's so rad. Good for him.
So rad.
I think that's how it happened. I don't know. It sounded fucked up, probably. Anyways, it probably wasn't good for anybody.
I used to tell people the Shamwell guy was Johnny Knoxville, and they would believe me.
Oh, come on.
For no reason. I told you I like to make up stupid, like believable. You have to really think about it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But one of my really stupid things that I like to do is when somebody gets nervous ordering at a drive-thru. I like to say, and order me a large Diet Coca-Cola. And when they say Coke, you continue to say Coca-Cola at them. People don't want to say Coca-Cola, so push Coca-Cola every time, and you'll find that it brings a lot of joy to your life. A lot of sadistic joy, but joy nonetheless, and it's worth something to me anyway. So Tibor says, surely I'm you, posting shit mostly when the US sleeps. Yeah, that is the thing, is I'm a man who doesn't sleep. Man,
I don't
who doesn't keep a schedule.
before you, I'm going to let you answer that. Not really, but to go back a bit, I don't like ordering at Starbucks ever because I hate that CEO. When they start unionizing, I think they just got one, then I'll start caring, right? But every now and then someone I know would be like, I just need you to go, like my wife, someone would make me go to Starbucks. So when I go, I insist on calling them larges and mediums.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
so you're saying Jedi Fallen Order venti.
Yeah. Large. Yeah, large, right, a large. And I get it, it's a stupid white fucking dude thing, but I'm not playing this game.
No, I'm with you. No, that shit annoys me. I'm not in fucking Italy. I'm at Starbucks on every corner.
I used to get great spumoni, Italian spumoni in Germany from an Italian family. This shit wasn't a venti. It's a fucking large.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it.
Spicoli did order a large pizza to class though, and that was pretty fucking cool. I wish I knew a guy like that.
Oh, and Popeye's dad fucking did not approve of it.
Okay, so Tibor is me. You are me. Nolan says, so Obi-Wan has his saber for Battle of Jabiim. Very cool. Yeah, he does have the saber. It sounds like it sounds like the saber's not on the belt. The saber is hidden, and the guns on the old holster. I guess. Jedi
got it in the bum. I put the saber in the bum. It'll never look in there.
New cult member Chris Owens says, "Hey guys, was curious if the majority of the series is off Tatooine. Is it just the first episode that's centered there?" Hey Chris, so good question. The show is bookended by Tatooine. You will start on Tatooine with a man that's broken. You will end on Tatooine with a man more determined than ever to fulfill his mission and
to stand there and watch a kid grow up.
Yeah, no, that's not. He's doing more than that. He's doing more than that. This is Kenobi slander. And I will not have it on the show.
I'm really looking forward to him getting pubes.
Why, Obi-Wan? That's really gross. You sound gross right now.
Force pubes. Furry. Trade him to the Jawas.
I've been waiting for that foreskin to get bigger.
Oh no.
And then he goes,
I call him Skinwalker. I can't do
it. Skinwalkers. Oh.
It's a twofer, that joke, right? Like,
I force stretched it. Now I can go over my head. Anyways, no Jedi here.
Plimpton style animation, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So, anyways, we end up going to. We start off on Tatooine, then we go to what's it called? Dayu and Nur, and then Jabiim. And then Jamama, and then back to Tatooine.
I want them to go to Sanrio, home of all the real cute fucking aliens. And
that Keropi, he's adorable. That little frog, he gets me every time.
Yeah. Bats Maru don't take shit from the Sith.
Yeah, I think. So let me ask your opinion, because we have like we know what this story is. Like, we know so much about it, and then now we're getting into like these like little details and the bigger questions, the questions that we'll ask as fans. Sort of, I don't know if philosophical is the right way of putting it, But do all these little fuckers die? Do you think they would? Do you think they would go? And for the record, I don't think it's hardcore. Like, damn, that's dark, dog. They put a bunch of Force users. Now they're all dead. Like, I don't think that. I don't think that equates to that. It depends on if the story is good or like what is the potential here. And yeah, so like, do we go? Like, I'm curious. Like, does this? Do we see them get wiped out? And then now Kenobi knows, like, hey, this can happen again. And I got to protect these kids, the kids I am protecting. Like, it's more important now. Like, I'm trying to figure this all out because we have a changed Kenobi. And when he starts the show, Nari's coming to him on Tatooine. Like, dude, it's me. I'm ready. I made it here to Tatooine for the party. And he's like, we're going to start a new Jedi Order, right? And he's like, nah, dude, I got shit I can't tell you about, man. I got secrets you don't know about. Get lost, go bury your lightsaber in the sand, fuck off, sorry. And then sorry Nari dies. Sorry Nari
gets
doesn't
all Gene
make
Wilder on him. Thank you, goodbye. You get nothing.
Yeah. But and then I don't know if I talked about this before, but I am under the impression that Kenobi takes Nari's lightsaber. That he somehow has it. And so with that in mind, Nari is an unfortunate byproduct of the mission. You know, like it's sort of like, in a weird way, Nari is Kenobi's version of the opening of Rogue One, where you have an informant giving Cassian information, and both of them aren't going to make it out of there. And Cassian has to kill that guy. Kenobi, in essence, kills that guy. Like, in a weird way, he knows, like, you know, this isn't gonna end well, and he doesn't save the kid.
I rewatched some of Rogue One last night, and they should just give Greg Fraser all the money in the world to be in charge of all the lighting for Star Wars from now on. Like,
so much pretty.
When it comes to the
visual effects, even the visual effects have pretty lighting in that movie.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, he's so good, dude. Yeah. He's the best right now. Like, he wins.
He wins. He won it. He done it, and he won it. But anyways, yeah. So like, we have these characters that are in the story now, and you know, like, it's always weird when you're talking about young Jedi and kids and being very direct with language. You know, well, like in Star Wars, if a kid uses the Force, oh, that's a Jedi, but it's not really a Jedi. Like, we have other people. Ahsoka's not a Jedi. She uses the Force. It's not how this works. And so I'm curious though, if we're going to see. You blame George?
And I'm being serious. I'm not even being like joking. That is a failure of the prequels to not adequately state. Like, I remember before the prequels came out, George said, you know, we've seen what Jedi were, but now we're going to see how they become a Jedi and all the things. And that's, you know, like, Anakin could have just very well it could have just started off on his first day outside the fucking temple. You know what I mean? And we could have learned what it's like to become it and what the difference is between, like, Padme could have been Force sensitive, but she's lost a bit of it because she never got training or something because she has family duty and shit, right? Mm-hmm. Like, could have been one of those things where she could have been the person who didn't get the training, and, you know, now she's, you know, like Leia, and Anakin did get the training and just fucks it all up. Like, that, you know, ignores the perils. Like, that's the benefit to having a prequel where you can do shit like that. But because he never did it, people just assume if you got the Force, you can be a Jedi. Like,
yeah.
All right. That's why I'm glad Grogu is kind of getting that no. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bit. I know some people don't like it, but I'm like, just stop. I don't ever got the whole, like, I'm going to be a Jedi. Like, who wants to be a Jedi? You can't fuck. You can't do anything. Like,
no.
You know,
the one guy was a Jedi, got to date Natalie Portman, and then he got his dick burned off. Think about it. Got his dick burned off.
I can't wait. It's my future, man. Can't wait. Like, all right. Like,
yeah.
Darth Vader came into my room last night and said if I sleep with Lorraine, I'm gonna get my dick burned off. You know, like, all right.
It does though. It does take me back to Early Revenge of the Sith rumors when T-Bone Star Wars Universe had, I believe it was T-Bone who had the scoop of in Revenge of the Sith. They program they put a message. Obi-Wan and Yoda put a message out there, and it sent all the Jedi away. And this is so that way they could make more stuff in the future. That was like, and it was like, whoa, 2005. I'm like, whoa, they're gonna make more Star Wars stuff someday, and that's how they're gonna do it. Now here we are in 2022, and it sounds like maybe we're starting to see some of that stuff actually kind of
really sell my company to someone, get real desperate, and then they'll start doing it.
Get real desperate without me. They need old Georgie baby. They're gonna get real desperate without me.
Just you wait. In 12 months, they're going to reskin that starship into something Kenobi. You'll see.
He ends up doing that in 2002 to 2003, probably 2003. And then so literally it took 20 years until we are seeing the rewards of that in live action, right?
Yeah, if you just wait long enough, like
if you just wait long enough,
that's how Star Wars fans always get rewarded, like Batman fans. Eventually, we'll fucking make another movie, and then complain about Marvel making too much.
But they're doing it, and I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm curious as to what chat thinks. Do they kill them? Like it doesn't. I know it doesn't go well, and the impression has been that they're all dead. The people who I've talked to who were there for it think they all die. But do they? Do they really? Because when Yoda says,
it'd be pretty metal for Vader to just fucking axe the whole fucking dudes,
And that might be one of those checkboxes from the prequel era. I want to see Darth Vader killing young Jedi. And then we see him go into a room full of toddlers and fuck him up. It's implied. Yeah, he fucks up a daycare. Like a fucking loser.
Right. It's very Jungian. It's very Jungian.
Yeah. Oh man. It's right there in the name, right? It's basically his name is basically Young. Let's just do it.
Yeah, I killed the younglings. It's meta.
Nolan says when they put Anakin and the kids in a room together, they just can't help Anakin murderizing them. Yeah, right. I mean,
I feel like if Spaceballs had gotten its prequel shot, right, it would have been this whole, I just feel the need to murder children. Like whenever they're in the room, like he's just trying to murder them, like Lord Helmet when he's young and shit.
Yeah.
They're like, no, you can't murder the kids. Damn it.
OJ could have come back and done like a role like in what do you call it? And he could have been a Jedi who wants to murder them too. Yeah. Sorry. I went there. Yeah, but so which I guess the question is which checkbox wins out? Darth Vader killing a bunch of those kids, or those kids escaping and they're being, see the weird thing. Here's the thing. We end up with a Star Wars story, and we've heard George say it a few times, the way that he interprets it. But we've also heard Dave say it a few times, the way he interprets it, and he tries to interpret George. And sometimes George's stuff isn't even consistent, doesn't even necessarily like interface that well, because he has these ideas. He's brilliant.
Yeah,
you're brilliant. You are brilliant, George.
I'm an anthropologist.
But what we
it's too funny.
Yeah.
Because you're right, he took one fucking class, you know what I mean? Probably to hit on Marsha, and then he was like really overselling it ever since.
Yeah, I think so, a little bit. And not that he doesn't have an interest in it, he does, but also like, you don't really see him dropping too many, deep cuts from anthropology necessarily. But anyways,
Jar Jar.
What? Where'd I get this guy? Where'd I get this guy? This guy. But yeah, fucking Darth Vader, man.
The more I think about it, it would have been genius if they had made the prequel Spaceballs movie around 2000, 2-ish or 5-ish. If they had gotten Sean William Scott to play young Darth Helmet, and then when he gets murdered, he's short because his legs got cut off, so he's Rick Moranis.
What I love about this guy is I'm
hey, little youngling, I just want to kill you. I just want to burn you all up.
we're dropping like really big Star Wars scoops, and you're like, I wonder about Spaceballs.
Yeah, I think Sean William Scott has a young Darth Helmet because he's super tall, but then when he gets murdered, right, he gets all fucked up. He gets rebuilt as Rick Moranis. It's great.
Yeah. So the story of Star Wars and what it is, though, it was never going to be a Jedi comes up and kicks Darth Vader's ass, walks up to Palpatine, kicks him in the balls, stabs him in the fucking tummy, and then cuts his throat and goes, "I am now the Jedi Emperor and everything is good." That was like never going to happen.
Before Zod.
Yeah,
right?
like that goes against the very like tenets of the concepts that like love will save you, everybody's redeemable and stuff like that. And so in order to get to that to those points, you can't just have might meeting might and might makes right. That's just not the Star Wars story.
Sorry, Republicans.
Sorry.
They literally, who said that? Oh, there's the guy who Kane. Remember Kane from the WWF?
Well, they said the guy who came. I was like, good for him.
Yeah, got Kane. He was like
Kane.
Undertaker's brother, not in real life, but in the kayfabe, in the storyline. He's the mayor of like Knoxville or some shit.
Okay.
And when Russia invaded Ukraine, he was up there saying "might makes right." Take what take. Like he's this fucking guy, dude.
Oh yeah, shit for brains. That's called having shit for brains.
Good old shit for brains.
Good old Dookie brains. Yeah. No, but so the point is like the Jedi Order is important to like the concept of like galactic stability, and there being like people helping throughout the universe that make huge dramatic changes to like whole worlds and those kinds of stories if they want to do that. But what we end up with is a place where none of that can help, but everybody should want it. Everybody should be thinking about it. And if they are going this route, if Saw Gerrera's secret plan is like, I'm going to save the Jedi. I remember the Jedi helped save Alderaan. Like they were good. And I know that they're against these fuckers. And so if that's like his secret plan, that's pretty cool. But we ultimately know it's not what saves everything. It's the love between a father and a son. It's beautiful, man. But that's ultimately what it ends up being. And so I'm curious to see how they play with this stuff and if it might have any implications like for like future stories, because we don't think about what the future may be like, or we don't think like we think of things very much like, well, here's the pieces and that's it. Like what if some of these people do exist? What if the Sith fall and they start a Jedi Order tomorrow and it's fucked? Like, what if they have bad ideals because of the Saw Gerrera, like base,
like Cobra Kai?
Yeah. What if they're the Cobra Kai to Luke Skywalker's Miyagi-Do? That, I mean, like, and then you end up having some war, between like a story or an era of that. Like this is called Star Wars, right? They would do that. Like that is kind of the point. So I could see so many story opportunities coming into play here. But then the other big ass donkey in the room. We don't have elephants. We have donkeys in this story. Donkey shows in this room. The big donkey show is Fallen Order, though. Is like I said, it would make sense for Cal Kestis to be in these scenes, but we have no evidence for it. It would make sense that Cal is maybe responsible or a key player in this Underground Railroad. Also, would make sense, but we have no evidence for it. And then, but we have Fallen Order 2 coming out. So, and Jedi Fallen Order 2.
It's not called Fallen Order 2. It's going to have its own name.
Star Wars Jedi Measles. Foreskins, Jedi foreskins.
That's the Matt Trey. That's a
Yeah.
Trey, Matt and Trey, fucking Matt Trey. It's a Matt Trey Parker, Matt, whatever. Those guys. South
Jedi
Park.
foreskin. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
you're really making me regret not going with that title today. I gotta say.
I told you it's a bit long. You didn't get the joke.
No, I did. That's why I laughed.
Foreskins long.
That's why. No, I got the joke. I did. I did get it.
All right.
Like, I got the joke, man. I got it. All right. No. I know. For a second I started to write. Oh, for SEO purposes, you actually have to have the entire. And I was like, oh no, he's joking.
Do I have to send sarcastic emoji every time I type something?
Yeah, every time, or I don't get it.
Okay. All right.
But
Johnny's like, we can just be serious, man. Just have a real conversation. Just two people, like a person. I'm like, I'm not like a person.
Yeah.
I'm like one of those mannequins that comes to life while you're stuck working on the late shift, right? I turn back into a mannequin when anyone else reappears or shows up. I'm not like a real boy.
I'm not a real boy.
No, I'm the opposite of Pinocchio. I'm not like a real.
Yeah. But anyways, this idea of this show, there's also some like potential thematic kind of resonance here that I like too. And it's sort of an inversion of the opening. Kenobi walks into this. Sorry, Nari walks into this Jedi's life, disrupts it, fucks everything up, pushes Kenobi out into the world. He's on a mission. He's got to save Leia and all that stuff. But when he comes into the to this Jedi colony's world, he does the same exact thing that Nari does to him to them. And in a weird way, I think there's kind of a big lesson here. During this time, we should not be clustered. We should not all be together. We can't be together. If they find one of us, they find all of us, and all of us can't fight them off. And so you have Darth Vader coming down, who could probably take them all on by himself. I just like to think that because he's fucking badass. But he comes with the Inquisitors, and they're there helping him, and becomes with Purge troopers and stormtroopers. Like, you aren't gonna win that fight at the end of the day. So it sounds like this stuff may just get super busted up. And I'm curious about Fallen Order 2. Is Fallen Order 2 after the Kenobi series? Might we see the remnants of that play into that story? Because that could be interesting. It's also interesting in that the Cal Kestis character fights Darth Vader in that game because they want you to do it. You want to do it, but he holds his own and survives.
The Forgotten Order.
The Forgotten Order. Forgotten Order. Right?
Yeah, some shit like that.
Or how about I think we agreed on Star Wars Jedi Venti, the other order.
Man, stop making fun of how big that dude's head is.
Filoni's order. Dude, I wonder if Dave Filoni's ever like poured like a beer into his hat and just drank it from the hat and said, and like I want to think there's like a day where everybody like on the cast and the crew of Ahsoka, they're like, we deserve raises. Yeah, inflation and cost of living, and they all come up to him.
Yeah,
and he does what he just takes his hat off and he pours his drink into it, and then he just slowly fucking just drinks the whole beer, looking over the brim of the hat, looking at them, and then he just stares at them, and then one by one they all turn around and slowly walk away, knowing you don't fuck with that guy. He's fucking nuts.
No. That's how Robert left the series.
Wait, Robert who?
Rodriguez.
Oh shit! Is that why
anybody? I run this show.
Is that why nobody finished Book of Boba Fett? Because you scared him off?
He just walked off. Yeah, I did the thing and couldn't take it. Couldn't take it.
Wonder what kind of
no one's heard from him since.
I wonder if he drinks Boone's and calls it Boonsoir.
Hey man, Boone's got me through a lot of the army, so that's all you want.
Yeah. No, when I worked at the gas station as a teenager, this one homeless dude would always come in and he would buy a bottle of like some like strawberry looking flavor, and he would go bonsoir. And I was always like, "Yep, you're doing it. You're doing it."
When I worked at this Kinko's, is the one across by Fry's in San Diego, and there's this there's a 8 a.m. PM across from the Kinko's in this hill, and this homeless guy used to live on the hill, and he saved up money for a fucking laptop. So, but he had the laptop delivered to the Kinko's. We had this FedEx. That was right when FedEx first teamed up, or it was before they bought. It was right when they bought him, some shit. And I'd walk out to go across the street to get a coffee, and I'd see the little laptop light on the hill, and I'm like, look at him.
Yeah.
he's up there, probably watching porn. Good for him.
Yeah. Well, maybe he became the best day trader ever. A true from rags to riches story. Or maybe
now he's an oligarch.
Maybe he just watched probably just watch a lot of porn. Let's just be real. He probably just watched a lot of porn.
Now he just has a phone and doesn't have to carry a giant laptop and shit.
He's like,
on the right track. It was right before the phones,
Yeah.
took off.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. It sucks. It would suck to live outside. But in some of Southern California for some of the time, it's not super bad. Kind of nice. Like during summertime,
bro. You'd be
sure.
surprised at how cold it can get.
Oh no, I know I couldn't handle it. I'd be crying the first night. I'd be like, "Mommy, I want to go home."
What happens is the marine layer comes in and you just get wet. Like you're just
in San Diego.
In San Diego. So like it'll be a hot night or even a cold night, whatever, but that marine layer comes in San Diego and then you're just covered in water.
No, I totally
freeze.
I totally didn't have to sit outside for 2 days to get in the Hall H before and have that happen to me.
Yeah. Welcome to growing up doing security and having to work outside. Just what it's like to I used to animate on paper for college, and I saw that security job. So I'd be outside and just my papers would be just damp,
Yeah.
Flipping back and forth. Like sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. I pretty much it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool seeing Bob Joe in person, but who gives a shit? And I think back to the pain of staying up for about 2 days outside, 2 nights basically to get in the Hall H for that panel. And it was barely worth it. I mean, it was pretty cool. I got to go to the event after when they played like all the music and stuff. You would like the John Williams music, and the whole cast was there and stuff. Like that was kind of neat.
Pizzas and shit. And all
the pizza was celebration. They gave us pizza before. They were giving out lightsabers though. And then the lightsabers had these like dumb like little stickers on them, and somebody gave me like $120 per lightsaber because they thought they were worth something for the stickers. I was like, okay.
You were one of the people that abandoned Kevin Smith, huh?
Oh fuck yeah, Kevin Smith. Oh yeah, yeah. I was like, bye, Kevin Smith.
Was right after. Yeah,
I was gonna stay. I had planned on I'm gonna stay and watch Kevin Smith after, and but then that happened. I was like, well, bye, Kevin Smith. See you later. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty funny though. He got hooked up.
He's taking that book back. He's taking the book back. You don't keep the shit.
I ain't giving it back. I ain't giving it back, Smith. You ain't getting your book back. Sorry, dude. But yeah. So yeah, pretty soon, like I said, I'm trying to get all my ducks in a row here mentally. And I think I'm going to do a special video, probably for members only. And I go back and forth on it. I want to do this video for members only, but then I'm afraid that somebody's just going to get the members thing, rip the video, and then just share it around just to bypass it, But
yeah, but I mean,
yeah, but
like most people play by the rules,
Yeah.
Support.
But I want to try and put it all together as best I can, and it'll be, yeah.
Like this conversation here, members, right? Like, but like they can read the article. The members, so we can all have this conversation together, right? So we can have the conversation. Like they don't get to have the conversation with you. They can't go on the chat and start clogging up the fucking, the reporting. They keep asking you more questions. They got to spend a little money. Be a member. Support the channel. Plus, it's a way of like saying we appreciate Jason's work. Here's $2. Hope you could pay your rent on that shit. Like.
And flip me off. That's fine. If you give me $2 to flip me off, that's cool. That's definitely cool. So, but yeah. So, anyways, I'm working that out in my head right now about doing like the whole thing, and like what that will look like. You know what I mean? And I have to make a couple of jumps here and there to make certain beats make sense. They would be educated guesses, to say the least, but they would also, I think they would be probably right. So it would be kind of fun though to like do that, and then to see how close did I get after it comes out, or after the episode comes out. You know what I mean? How right did we have Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, so to speak, that kind of thing. Because it does seem like,
I love that whole like 15 minutes where we hung out with Forlom. I'm glad you got that right.
Yeah.
Or the back to tank adventures, right? The big back to tank adventures.
Gotta be honest with you on the Forlom thing. It's a bit of a mystery to me. And I was thinking back to like all the creatures I saw from Dayu, and I saw a droid from memory that was like Forlom, but I don't think it was Forlom. I'm not shitting on the story. I'm not trying to go against anybody. I don't care. I'm not trying to, but I am trying to work this out, because it's a kind of a claim. They're all, it's more than he does in Empire, and I'm like,
it was for the color of money, right?
Yeah,
it's cum, but they call them cum because they're dicks, you know?
Right?
Robot friends are assholes,
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm gonna change the site name to Merkin Star Wars. What do you think about that? We're all gonna wear Merkin Star Wars.
Very fuzzy, very furry.
You think you could draw that logo, that slimy logo, but can you draw it hairy? Sorry, don't do it.
I'm sure there's a 1001 Photoshop trick books that'll do that.
How to make slime look like hair in Photoshop.
Yeah, one of those stupid like, oh, here's now you can get a job doing it. This is all it takes to book. Like, all right.
I think you're ready for ILM. I think you're ready. Send John Null your CV. He's ready.
A lot of people out there like it, dude. You know, while simultaneously telling me I'm stupid for even using Photoshop. I should just be using Procreate all day. Stupid idiot. I'm like, you ain't using Procreate to make Star Wars, you fucking morons.
I think Procreate means you should be having sex. I think you're misunderstanding them. They're saying you should go procreate. You should make a baby.
I don't get to name these software. They're not called software anymore. It's called apps. I don't get to name the apps.
Mike Porter, how's it going, dude? Hello. Mike No Troll Porter today.
Ooh.
That's my name. Don't wear it out. But yeah. So right now,
Mike Porter potty. Get it?
Yeah.
Porter.
Yeah, Mike Porter potty. That's not nice.
Nice.
Is it okay? All right. Well, we'll ask.
I can do that. We're buds.
Mike thought it was funny. Star Wars China says, "Tell us again why Rob isn't working for Lucasfilm." Laugh out loud.
Certainly not now. Not after this show.
I don't know. You know, I mean, crazier things have happened. I mean, maybe when you get the call, will you tell me stuff? When they say, well, what if that's how they stop me? Like, I'm too nice to ask you to leave the show, but you say we can't do spoilers on the show because you work at Lucasfilm now, and then I'm just like,
want to hear a true story?
Yeah.
So this actually happened like 3 or 4 months ago. A former employer hit me up to come back and work. And I said, hey, man, I'm doing the Star Wars podcast. Oh, yeah, I watch that. It's great. I'm like, I would like to keep doing that, though. Mm-hmm. And then they're like, they stopped talking to me.
Note to self, when interviewing for job, don't say, I'm doing my podcast. Don't bother me.
Yeah. It's just too early for I imagine that's going to be a normal thing to tell them. They're going to be demanding you also have a side podcast in the future, right? Probably. But like, you know, they don't want to hear it. It's like, all right. You know.
Yeah, we want to know what your social media presence is, but we also want to control it and not to be offensive.
Yeah. just promote our shit on your
Yeah,
social media accounts. Yeah.
in a real nice way too. No bad
Yeah.
words.
Right.
Mike
And only when we
says
say you can.
Mike says he was called that in middle school. You're just a Mike
Gotta
Porter
be
middle
like,
school
it's,
bully.
you gotta understand, like, I'm still 12. Like, like I haven't lost it.
I'm listening to the same music, so it's kind of hard to argue with. Mike
Yeah, I'm
says,
listening to Jazzy Jeff right now while we're fucking doing this. Like right here. It's from last summer. It's if you go on the he has this thing called Mag Mob VIP. You can watch all of his sets. He did one where he's got a moon backdrop, right, from last summer. He's like, I'm on the moon. He's like pretending to like have low gravity and shit. And he plays fucking the theme to Moonlighting, so because it's the moon, right?
yeah.
Like, so wholesome, Jazzy Jeff. So wholesome.
So Mike Porter said, "How do you like me now?" and made it rain 99 cents. Thank you.
Oh, every Republican's like, see, you can afford a home.
See?
Like,
You can do it. You can
capitalism works with that Tucker Carlson face. Did I lose you?
No, I was just making
hear
that face for a long time.
I can't. I can't even see you.
Sorry.
It's funny. Sorry.
I can't help myself sometimes.
Got
Yeah.
that
So,
look, though, right?
but what I am gonna say is, it does appear like we end up getting to Jabiim under some kind of duress. Kenobi is injured
Home of the
and
jabronis.
healed while there, and Kamal Nanjiani and O'Shea Jackson characters are there, and they're involved in this Underground Railroad. Which, and then from there, so I'm gonna guess that Bail Organa probably is working with Saw Gerrera at this time, because the people running the Underground Railroad are probably the people that Bail Organa trusts to intervene in the mission. When Bail Organa sends Obi-Wan to save Leia, I'm just trying to work out the internal logic of the story here, so it may not actually pertain, but it does help to talk about it, to burp about it if you can, to drink coffee about it if you can, to do a spit take if it's funny.
I'm muted.
I know, but it's better when you burp in the mic. I think it just really puts the audience in their place.
Cats agree.
All of Max's cats agree. Anyways, yeah. So I think that Bell trusts taking Leia to that place for that reason, but I think they end up bringing a lot of trouble with them in the end. And I'm curious if Nanjiani or O'Shea Jackson Jr.'s character should know more about Kenobi's mission. I don't have any indications of this one way or the other, that what they know. I don't know what they know, but I'm curious if they know more than most. I'm wondering if they're like part of the inner circle, in some way of the resistance between Saw Gerrera and Bail Organa or something like that, because Bell clearly goes to them. He sends them, I believe he sends them to like Ghost Dogs people. So it has to go there has to be some kind of connection there. I'm just trying to figure out like what the kind of bigger story implications are, and what the world building looks like from this. You know what I mean? Like what does it end up saying, and what does it end up doing for all of
Not
the
much.
Jedi? Well, if they all just die, well, I mean, it's gonna. I mean, that's 10 years now of an era defined by something that probably kicks off after Fallen Order. So we probably have a good 6 years worth of stories that will be told, but maybe they won't matter. I don't know. Maybe they will matter. But
it'll be the new series, like the Wonder Years was called the Purge Years.
The Purge Years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder who would play Wayne, because you need a good Wayne. You know, Wayne was the best character in Wonder Years. He was the
the
older brother. Remember when he would drive Kevin would go to get in the car in front of Winnie, and he would drive the car, and then Kevin would try to get to the car, and Winnie's just watching.
Future.
And then he would drive the car some more. Yeah,
it's like brand new. What are you talking about?
Also, Big Top Pee Wee. He gets the bike, right? He's the rich kid who gets the bike, and Big Top Pee Wee. Wayne. Cast Wayne as Darth Wayne in the future Star Wars shows. I think it's time.
It's gonna fuck with all those Batman fans, aren't you?
Yeah, is he in Batman?
No, Darth Wayne, because
Darth Wayne. Got it. Yeah, whatever happened to that guy though? Does he still do shit? Does he just like cash in Wonder Years checks, making it rain super chats like Mike Porter on the show? I don't even know it.
I'm afraid to look him up because he might end up being like a January 6th or something. Ruin my whole fucking.
Silver Spoons really fucked with your head, didn't it? When Silver Spoons,
the guy's literally in front of a campfire talking about saving the world from fucking Cthulhu baby eater. By the way, this whole fucking like, because I love Jesse, but he keeps bringing up fucking pedophile, like the big pedophile hunt, and
he does.
You know the comic. Yeah, he does. I have to call and talk about. It's crazy. So. Are you familiar with the comic strip Little Nemo from like 1905?
No, I know the movie.
Yeah, so this guy, he like helped invent, I forget his name, Will something or other. Yeah. This guy invented the modern comic strip. It was a pretty amazing comic strip. Anyway, he ended up doing like ads and political cartoons, but mostly for the Hearst company, right? William Randolph Hearst.
Okay.
And there's these ads that he drew for Lucky Strike cigarettes where like it's talking about how like Lucky Strike cigarettes they're toasted, and it's all this stuff about how capitalism stops child slavery and shit, and thanks to fucking Lucky Strike cigarettes and shit.
Because it tastes good like a cigarette should.
Like, this whole like it's before it's like in automobiles ads were doing the same thing too. Like these automobile ads, these big capitalist automobile ads, robber baron ads for fucking cigarettes, are telling you cigarettes stop child slavery, and basically they would use pornography, they could get away with it. But it's the same bullshit argument, man. It's like 100 fucking years.
Yeah.
Like with these fucking guys just false flagging everyone into buying fucking cigarettes. Like those didn't ruin people's lives for the next 100 years,
Well, hey, it was a lucky strike. They have the high ground.
But this guy drew a bunch of ads for him and shit. So.
Oh, okay.
Well rendered.
Yeah. Whatever. Well, hey, Jesse, I miss you, and together we will shut down that cabal. We'll find it. We'll do it together.
I'm just trying to save him before he turns into Anakin Skywalker.
Justin says, I realized I had a problem when I'm in the middle of work meeting. In the back of my mind, I went, damn. I bet I'm missing the Making Star Wars show right now. Sorry, Justin. We were hoping for that 11 o'clock show, but stuff came up today, and but I'm glad that you're here and that you made it. At least we're like the last part of the show.
My wife tells her when she's working, "Oh, my husband's going to work on his podcast." I'm like, just don't tell them I'm on a podcast. Like, it's bad enough I draw too. Now you got to tell them on a podcast. It's just bad. my baby boy's going to do his doodles and talk about a spaceman with his space friends. I just figure she's ensuring that if we ever break up, I can never get laid again.
Yeah. They'll try that. They will try and do that to you.
Jason's like,
yeah. But truth is it usually kind of works the other way. Rob, tell the truth. Alex P. Keaton was your role model when you were growing up. Man, Alex P. Keaton,
I thought he was funny until, what was it? When did I first realize what a Republican, what politics were, right? Like, man, it wasn't Family Ties. I get they all didn't like him, but I didn't understand why, right? I was too young for that. I want to say, like, honestly, man, I don't think, okay, it was the Phil Collins music video with the puppets and Ronnie Reagan, where he's like dressed as Superman trying to avoid hitting the nuke button and shit.
Yeah.
That's when I got a sense of what
yeah.
You know why? It's because my uncles worshiped Ronald Reagan. I mean, they had a whole wall, they had the letter from the president on the wall and shit. Yeah, like they had the Reagan wall,
Mhm.
And I was like, and they hated that video, and I was like, oh, I guess Reagan isn't all that great, right? Like, there must be something to it. So,
Yeah, I actually, believe it or not, wrote an article about Alex B. Keaton and how he was sort of on the pop culture landscape was sort of responsible for making neoliberal ideas cute instead of scary. And it sucks because I do love that show. I love Michael J. Fox. I love Alex B. Keaton, but does kind of suck because I mean, like, I'm not necessarily even I'm obviously not a Republican, but philosophically, I some of their ideas I can see how they could be appropriate in certain eras, in certain times, but neoliberalism, which is just anything goes capitalism, and don't worry, the market will work it out. That's where I get fucking freaked out. That's where I'm like, because a lot of these guys are like, you know what? Destroy the environment, fuck it up, tear it up.
well,
Don't worry, we will solve it, and it will be an industry when we do. And it's like until we don't, until that eventually that leads to our destruction. I don't like neoliberalism.
well, what really set me on the path was New Deal era reforms, right? Like when my mom got divorced,
Mm-hmm.
we lived in National City for a while. That whole story. That's less than a year. She breaks up. We had to live with my grandfather in his condo in North Park, and this is when North Park looked like the opening to Night Court, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the opening to Night Court looked like North Park. It was steaming vents. It was filthy. And she'd be working all the time. He was supposed to watch me, but he'd go to the casino because he had his retirement from the Navy. And so he'd have his other older friends who were on fixed incomes watch me, right? And so I learned what a social security check was, and I'd help them clip out coupons and how they were on a fixed income, and they
Yeah.
would tell me all the time, if I didn't have this money, I would be on the street, kind of shit. So like a social contract was important,
Yeah.
like I really stuck with me. And for some fucking reason, by the mid 90s, that's all gone.
Mm-hmm.
Like people are just like, oh, they kept saying, and I had my economics teacher in high school say, so there won't be no such thing as Social Security. I'm like, well, if the population is growing, why won't there be Social Security? It would seem more people, there'd be more money being put into it. And corruption, Rob, that's why. Defunding, because we can't possibly give poor people of color fucking paychecks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like their racism won't fucking allow it. And if white people suffer too, oh fucking well. Like that's just something that like I can't get into the heads of people of our age or even older now. Like even now they can't see it,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. And I just can't fathom why anyone would fucking vote for anybody, blue or green, or red or whatever on the political spectrum, who are sitting there advocating for like, just pick yourself by the bootstraps. What, when you're fucking 70? And you've been just barely making it your whole fucking life. Or what if you were a housewife who took care of all the kids, but your fucking husband leaves you in your 60s and shit?
Well,
Then
you know
what
what?
do you do?
You know what Star Wars Santa would say? He would say JFK, blown away. What else do we have to say? We didn't start the fire.
The problem is they all think JFK is coming back.
I know.
So like,
The song foretold it. The song
so
foretold
eerie. Yeah.
it. Jason blinked out right after Rob said Phil Collins. It'll do that to me. Nolan says, Batman side note. What's everyone's thoughts on the Joker scene that dropped today? Rob, I think you have some things to say about that, probably.
All right. Look, folks. Is it better than the scene with him in the movie? Yes, it's better than the scene with him in the movie. Other than that, though, like, I just disagree fundamentally with, if you're gonna make Joker Hannibal Lecter, where it's a character that Batman already caught, goes to prison to try to get that, like the Clarice talking to Hannibal Lecter stuff from Silence of the Lambs,
Make him young and hot.
Manhunt,
Make him hot.
or from Manhunt with Brian Cox. I'm for that idea, but having a young Joker being the guy he goes to makes no fucking sense to me. You need an older Joker, like a Willem Dafoe older Joker.
Dare I say a
playing
Jack
mind
Nicholson?
games. Someone who's playing mind, but not like hamming it up. You need someone who's like who's smarter than Bruce Wayne. He's just insane. Like each villain represents a certain aspect of Bruce Wayne, Whereas the Riddler is representing the orphan side of Bruce Wayne. The Joker represents Batman's intellect, but in a maniacal form, right? That fucking actor is horrible. It's horrible. It's cringeworthy. I don't understand how Batman fans, but they just see the Joker, they flip out like everything's fucking amazing. I'm just like, it's cringe. I'm glad they cut it. I wish they'd cut the other part too and recast it. You know, it's fucking dumb. But
yeah,
whatever. You know.
So when I saw it, the voice reminded me a bit of the Dark Knight's Joker a little bit. Kind of have that same kind of accent going, and in a weird way, I don't like that. You know, I was imagining another Joker while I was hearing it from that voice. I don't know if I'm right about that, but that was how I
confident, intelligent, older Joker who's just smarter than Bruce and toying with him because he's smart. You know, like that's a Joker we haven't seen before. Mm-hmm. You know, show me that. Show me something we haven't seen. Like, it's just like the puzzle. It's just if they're trying to create something, there's an idea, but it's like when you try to make a whole image out of a collage, you're still seeing all the pieces. You know.
What are your top three Jokers? What are your top? You got a top three?
Live action?
Live action,
or
live
anything?
action. Movies.
Live action? Movies? Heath Ledger's definitely above Jack Nicholson. Had Jack Nicholson been 10 years younger, probably would have gone over. It's just Jack Nicholson's older and
ageist.
This
guy's ageist. Now he hates fat people.
Yeah.
He hates me.
Yeah, as the Joker, I don't want a fat Joker unless it's really fat. Like I would appreciate it. Like Fat Thor, I like.
This guy's not fat. This guy's fat shaming the Joker over here.
Yeah, I fat shame myself. So you know what I mean. Like that's how I roll. Like, that's how I keep. That's why I get up every day.
All right, no.
So, but I'll say this: I think I think Cesar Romero's Joker. Although, look, the Batman series is corny. He's great.
Yeah,
you know, I really think it's a shame that he didn't get a more like all that aside, it would have been great for them to give him something written more like a con in a couple, you know, episodes, give him a serious thing here and there. But I think Cesar Romero is actually pretty good. Like, I think the worst live action Joker I've seen so far would be Jared Leto and this one. These two are pretty bad.
Before we started, we had a 5-minute conversation about who's My So-Called Life, and that's who's My So-Called Life is. That's Jared Leto.
I pieced that together, but I also wasn't he in Requiem for a Dream? Wasn't that him?
The question you're asking me is not was Jared Leto in Requiem for a Dream, but was My So-Called Life in Requiem for a Dream? And the answer to that is I don't know. I don't remember.
I think that's him. I can't. I only watched it the one time. It's terrifying.
Because I go Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholson's my number one. And then
I know, but I at the end of that movie, I didn't think we didn't. How do I say this? With Jack Nicholson's Joker, I felt we saw everything he had in that movie. There was no other situation you were going to put Jack Nicholson's Joker in and get anything different.
And then they killed him. They killed him. They did it. They did it all.
And with Heath Ledger's, I felt like we were just seeing the beginnings of something. And there was more to see. And then he unfortunately fucking died before the movie came in. So it's just
I feel like Heath Ledger has a little bit of the rock star who gets to die before they crash their legacy. Like and looking at that third Batman movie, which admittedly had death as a problem, that probably made it not that good. But
that third Batman movie wasn't the original script. I mean, it was supposed to come back. Bane would never have been that would not have been the movie had he lived.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but I'm kind of the opinion that had we seen more, it may not have been. It may have been okay enough. But what do I know? I like Jack Nicholson's Joker the best. I like Cesar Romero third. I like that one Joker movie second. That last Joker.
I enjoy Lego Joker, the Galifianakis, where he's like trying to get Batman, but I'm your best villain, right? And he's like, no, you mean nothing to me. Lego Batman's still my favorite Batman movie.
Yeah. No, it's pretty good, man. I'm not knocking it. I won't knock it. Mike Porter says, I usually don't talk Star Wars because my mom said not to talk about politics and religion in public. Right? It makes sense. I follow you.
Well, I used to say in the early 2000s, we used to drive up to LA to go to these sketch jams, and they would usually be hosted at this guy's house, Shane Lyons, who's a famous animator. And all these different artists, like some of them would show up from ILM, right?
Mm-hmm.
And by the end of the night, it doesn't matter what happened in the world. What was at the end of the night was always complaining about Star Wars. And the guys who worked at ILM, and let me tell you what it's like to work about George, you know. And it's just like, fuck, dude, like. Yeah. Can we just complain about anything else? Like, it was old then.
Like I really seriously love George Lucas, and in a weirdest way, I'm glad I would love to have worked for him, obviously, but I'm glad I never did on one hand, because I think I would be like, that dude sucks. Like, bosses suck. It doesn't matter who it is. Having a boss just usually sucks. And so it's like, yeah, it's like I don't think George Lucas decides to make you miss your kid's 7th birthday because Jar Jar needs to step in some more poop here. I don't think you walk away liking him more. I'm gonna say you don't.
Yeah, well, that actually happened. Sorry, John Knowles.
Mike says his favorite Batman is Adam West, then Lego Batman, and then Keaton. And I think that's a pretty respectable list right there. It's pretty weird. I bought the Batman series on sale, the Adam West one, and my daughter loves the Adam West Batman series. Like, that's her Batman. Like, she watches that Batman all the time, and it's not funny. It's not a joke to her. It's all serious. It's Batman.
It was my favorite until, the King came out. I came back to it when the Blu-ray came out because the transfer is so stunning. It looks like it was shot yesterday in the 60s. It's nuts.
It looks great.
The quality is so good. I'll say, man, I still think Batman works best as a TV series.
Mm-hmm.
And I really think they should be doing this Batman as a TV series, a couple seasons and then do a movie, and then a couple seasons and do a movie, Mm-hmm. This waiting 5 fucking years for Batman to then fucking fight the Penguin again is, I just don't give a shit.
And I gotta say that last Batman movie, that third act is weak for sure, but I really do love that Batman movie. It's the first Batman movie I really feel like I really like it a lot.
The Nirvana.
Like, maybe it's the Nirvana, but I want more Batman, and I'm with you though. I don't think that a lot of what happens in that movie, that whole movie could have been an HBO series.
Yeah, I had a friend tell me, but the scene where he's looking into the shadow, it's so good. I'm like, yeah, you can do that in his TV series.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
you can look and stare at the shadow. It's great. It's great tension. There's no reason for other than to say, well, Rob, what about the money? Okay, still do a movie. You know what I mean? Like, make the big
House of Cards costs more than Batman.
Seriously, like I'm just, you can do both. You telling me you can't do Star Wars television and Star Wars movies? Get the fuck out of here, dude. Like,
yeah.
Literally Marvel characters are coming in and out of films now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Look at Wanda. Like, it's so it's so weird, man. Like.
Yeah, it just, for whatever reason, it's taking Warner Brothers an extra 15 years to catch up to where the
man who dresses,
the modern state.
A man who dresses up as a bat. A man who dresses up as a bat. It's not that hard. And what's crazy is there's like this whole thing called comic books and animation that already have some of the best stories ever told happen to also be Batman stories.
Yeah.
They don't have to figure it all out. They get to pick and choose from all this shit, and it just stuns me how they're like struggling to get their head around it.
Star Wars Anthony says, I felt like Nicholson's Joker was great, but was more of a dark comedy performance, whereas Heath went full on dark on his performance. Both are great in their own way. Yeah, for sure. I think like when you take both of their performances, you can show that there's just really no right way to play a hilarious maniac, and there's different ways of doing it. And I think it depends on what the story needs. Like, I love how in Heath Ledger's Joker, that opening where you see they all have the clown mask on and he's like picking them all off, killing everybody.
That clown mask is from the 60s series. It's from the very first episode. when the Joker appeared. He's wearing that same mask.
Yeah, it's great.
So,
but
like,
I'm saying it's a great opening for the Joker. Right there, you learn that this guy is an intelligent snake, and watch out because he's gonna get you like the whole time. And
well, it's
that makes
also
him
the
scary.
only time in the Nolan films in which you actually are in the back seat of the character.
Yeah.
Like he's a protagonist in that sequence. You come right up behind and you're with the Joker the whole time. Like you're never really with the closest thing you're kind of with Batman at the end of that movie when he's fighting those dudes, but not really because you're jumping back to Morgan Freeman and shit. Like that's why that when they bust out that window with the grappling hook and go over and you're looking down, it's like you're robbing the bank. And I'm just shocked that Nolan and them never tried to do that again in the next movie or anything. You know, I don't know, man.
I felt like in the third one, Bane and Catwoman. I mean, she didn't do anything bad. What's her name? Who plays Catwoman? It really wasn't her fault.
Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway. I mean, I don't think it was Anne Hathaway's fault, but I just feel like that character just felt pretty limp to me. That
somebody
whole version
told
of it.
Or Jonathan Nolan wrote the majority of that script. Chris Nolan's brother. Someone told him it was cool. Hey, you know what? Forget all the Batman movies or Batman stories you've ever read and just adapt Tale of Two Cities. That's what we've all been dying to see as a Batman film. Fucking Dickens. Like, okay, you know, like.
Would have been cool though if it, like at the end, Batman was like, "Can I have some more?" That wasn't Tale of Two Cities.
Well, I thought with the end when that kid, the Robin or whatever, fucking was there, at the end, I thought that was going to lead to like they'd come back to that story like 20 years later or 10 years later, and it was like Batman Beyond. Like he obviously didn't have the ninja training and shit, so and he's cool with weapons, so he would be having the tech suit and shit,
Yeah.
Like that would have been his way into it because he still had access to Morgan Freeman and all that tech stuff, and they would have built him the tech suits, and that would have been, instead of Batman Begins, it would be Batman Beyond with the naming conventions and shit. Like,
right.
And they would have done an adaptation, not a literal translation, but an adaptation of that stuff. And none of that shit. So
yeah. Well, by the time we got to that third one, I was okay with it. I mean, like that one just doesn't work for me. If anyone else loves it, by all means, love what you love and enjoy it if you do. But for me, it's just whenever I watch all three of them, I was watching Batman Begins only because I like Dark Knight, love Dark Knight, and then I watched the third one because I like the Dark Knight, and it just doesn't really do it. So Mike Porter says Pattinson will grow on me. It just takes time. Not really excited for the squirrel suit. You know what's weird, dude, is I didn't like the suit when I saw the trailer. I just didn't give a shit. But after, as I watched the movie, I was pretty into it, actually. Like,
it's the ab section I still don't give a shit for.
The ab section feels weird to you?
The angular ab thing, I don't give a shit. The cowl, all that other stuff, I like. The ab section, I don't know. They based it off the video game from Telltale. Yeah, I can tell. I don't really give a shit. But as for that squirrel suit thing, I'm not against it. The problem is he never uses it again. Like the car, right? Like I thought the third act, if you're gonna do a big fucking Batman with the whole city, like use the car, use the suit again, like you put them all together, right? Where he's got to use one of everything, and then
that's my big gripe on the movie is that I enjoyed it, but the Batmobile sequence, it didn't get where it could have. You know what I mean? There was so much wasted opportunity in there, and you could even take that into maybe if that sequence had been pushed in a different way into the ending and played a part into saving the people at the end or something. I feel like there was another pass on the end of that movie, on that third act, that would have made it more coherent to make more sense. People left the second time I saw it. People left the theater early thinking that they were seeing the end and just trying to beat the crowd out. And it goes on for another 10 minutes. And, but that just goes to show you not that it was structured well, but that it was ultimately confusing and people.
If you're going to blow up fucking Gotham and ruin it and shit and turn it into a fucking big wasteland, then just do the No Man's Land storyline and start the movie with that shit.
Yeah.
Start the movie with that. Don't end it and then go away. Like, it's like,
Star Wars Anthony says, more like Star Wars Batman. No, I'm kidding. Star Wars Anthony says, I can't comment on the new Batman. I haven't seen it yet. I finally saw No Way Home last weekend, which I still haven't seen, honestly. Still haven't seen it. So I'll probably see the new Batman after the Kenobi show airs. Yeah. I'm going to, do you have any idea when Spider-Man comes on Disney Plus? Is that happening soon?
Disney Plus, another month or so.
Another month or so? Because, I keep seeing it for sale on Vudu and it's like $20. And I'm like, I'm probably going to watch it one time. So I don't really want to spend full price to own it, you know? And I already have Disney Plus, and then Disney Plus is going to start trying to give it to me constantly once they have it. So I haven't really ran out, but I want to see it. I mean, it looks fun, you know, it looks like I'll enjoy it, but I don't
saw
really
it in the theater, and then we watched it last week. I bought it for the wife because she didn't go to the theater.
Oh, okay. Did she enjoy it?
Yeah, she loved it.
Yeah.
I love the Marvel's killing. Like, I watched Campia since Robert Robinette came back, and I like Erin Cummings. She's great. They got a fun show. I don't agree with half the shit they say, but it's fun to watch, right? And so, but John was like, Marvel, can't trust them. They're just fucking up left and right, basically. Like, he's like, Loki was horrible. Like, he liked WandaVision. Hate Winter Soldier. What If was stupid. And I'm just going like, what is wrong? What is better? Who's doing genre better than that studio?
Yeah,
like seriously.
I love all the things you just listed are things I actually pretty much enjoyed. I didn't watch Hawkeye.
There's no sex and violence. Is that it? You want more? Like what? I don't understand, dude. You know, we are Lucas. We grew up with Lucasfilm, right? And Spielberg. We are the Stranger Things generation, you know, and like this is everything we wanted from Lucas and Spielberg, and all that should have been tied together. You know what I mean? Like, imagine if we could have got like real Indiana Jones shows with Harrison Ford. You know what I mean? Like having Indiana Jones adventures in between the movies, and we would have seen short round adventures and shit. Like every time Lucas tried to do a side movie, it was Ewok Adventure. It was like, it's not really the Star Wars thing. That's some shit to get mad over. Like, I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I think people think I hate. Yeah, people think I hate everything. I'm actually one of the easiest motherfuckers to please. Like, just fucking take the character and do some fun shit with him. That's all I'm asking. You know?
Yeah.
I like the Dad Batch. You just don't do nothing with him. Like,
I don't know about anything of the people who you're talking about, so I'm not playing any kind of like backhanded comment or anything like that. Just to be clear, but is it like one of those things where you like all the Disney fans? I mean, sorry, all the DC fans start sucking on your teats if you put down the Marvel thing. Like, is that a thing? Like I don't like Star Trek.
No, because John's. No, there's someone we know who once like tried to accuse John of being bought off by Marvel. Like, it's not. It's just first. I think the shows are. Here's what's crazy: the shows are so different from one another. The Marvel shows, you know what I mean? And like the movies, it used to be where every Marvel film was sort of alike, and then everyone was complaining about it, right? And now they've really settled into like the movies being their own thing. That the only thing that ties them together is you're probably gonna have a good time and you're gonna get some fun, cool shit if you pay attention to other movies, kind of stuff, you know. But like so when someone says I don't like Loki, I'm like, well, they're not making these shows to be the same. Like the CW, it's the same show every time featuring a new character.
Right. Rob is getting in trouble. He's being told, you know what, Rob? You're wrong. You don't know anything about comic books. You don't know anything about Marvel or DC.
But the shows are so different, and so someone's like, if it's not your thing, fine. But to say like you can't trust them, like Ms. Marvel's coming out, that don't look nothing like anything they've done. It ain't like Hawkeye. Hawkeye ain't like what I love it. I'm not a fan of their comics. I don't know, man. Like, good for me, I guess, but I don't know, man. Like, I still have that kid part of me. I'm like, this is great content, you know, fun, wholesome, you know what I mean? And they actually put shit in there that has stakes. Like, there's a few of those what ifs, especially the Doctor Strange one, where you learn what happens if you got a story where you could see what if Kenobi had given in and used the Force to try and force, Vader and Sheev to fucking be dead? Like, what if he had in that? It's like, what happens if you use your power to do good, but it goes wrong? You know what I mean? Like, you give in to the hate to do good. Can you do any good from that? No. And like, how? I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Like, I wish as a creator, I'm like, I wish I could be writing and conjuring up consistently at the level that studio's doing. Like, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, no, I don't understand that at all. But Baymax has just got back from dinner with his mom, and the question is what does his mom think about these Kenobi spoilers? Is his mom on board? Does Baymax's mom think that this Jedi enclave or this Force sensitive enclave, do they make it? Because that's the big question.
Will Kenobi appear in Jedi Fallen Order 2?
Ooh, that's a good question.
See, when we go the 2 hours, that's when I start getting creative.
Mercy missions.
Yeah.
That's
the name of the next game, Mercy Mission.
Jedi Mercy missions. You just like do that thing where you lock hands and then like they go mercy.
Remember when Metal Gear had those VR missions, but it wasn't a real sequel, and it was just like it's on the PlayStation. It was just VR missions.
Santa's selling Baymax. Okay, start from the beginning. Catch up, Baymax. Yeah, watch it really fast, like chipmunk speed, and comment the whole way. It all makes sense. When we get to the Batman part, you could probably skip that part. You probably don't care about that. But once you're at the Batman part, you're about to get to this part. Just so you know. So yeah, 2 more hours, we can do it.
We're so close to the actual Kenobi series that it's like, I'm just afraid the more I speculate, the more I'll just figure it all out. You know what I mean? Like,
I think we got it all figured out. To be honest with you, I'm not expecting there to be any big surprises. I will be honest. I don't know if I'll talk about the last episode or not. I haven't decided about that stuff yet. About like where I want to go, if I want to bother with that stuff or not. But I know all that.
Commander Cody shows up, Captain Cody, and
yeah,
and they go on the last 10 minutes of Kenobi. They save all of Tatooine, right?
Yeah,
because a flood happens.
I was actually down there. What's funny is I was down in that area talking to everybody about the last stuff. So I got the last stuff for the first stuff. Everybody was just talking about the last stuff, and then I started to get like kind of trickle down, get the info about the first stuff, and then so it kind of in a weird way took me longer to get the. I kind of had to do this one backwards because when I was
that's
in
funny.
The area, it's just weird. It's weird how it goes, But
yeah, when are we gonna start ruining Andor?
Yeah, no, and Andor. And Andor's the one where I'm like, oh man, don't get me started. But I do want to. There's stuff about Andor I do want to get to, but there's,
I really liked all the photos that we were looking at last summer.
Yeah,
like the sets and shit. Like, I mean, if out of every, I mean, it definitely the set photos we've seen look more like the Indiana Jones movie photos in terms of like it looks like a movie more than a show kind of set stuff that we've seen so far.
Big time.
Yeah.
That one is going to, I think that one's going to look good. I'm going to be super surprised if Andor comes out and it looks like shit. It will just be like, really? Okay.
And is Gilroy still in charge of that, or because I know like there was this weird, like they didn't want to go overseas because of COVID. There was a whole thing, but I haven't heard any conversations about that since then. Like,
as far as I know, the story goes, Gilroy was supposed to direct, and then New York was going into lockdown. Nobody knew what that was going to mean. I don't know what Gilroy's personal situation is, but let's just pretend like he has kids. Maybe he could be stuck over there for 6 months without his kids. Like you know what I mean? And then like who knows what the situation.
It's horrible.
Yeah, it's tough.
It was extra tough bleak enough without the pandemic when people have to do that. You know what I mean? Let alone, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know what his situation is. I don't really even want to know. but it just like, yeah, it ends up being like that was the situation. So they ended up bringing in different director to take over his episodes, is the way I understand it. But I think he's still like the showrunner. So I don't think he stepped away from the show. I don't think it was like I don't think it was like I direct or I'm out. I think it was I was supposed to direct. Unfortunately, no, I can't. Now I'm just running the show.
Maybe that's why they're giving him that second season, so he'll get the chance.
Yeah. I mean, I think
I love Rogue One, man. I really do.
I think if you love Rogue One, I think Andor's gonna pick up on the potential of that in a big way. Where you know what I mean, that double crossing kind of stuff and everything that's like going on at the time, and like that paranoia and in that universe. I think that's going to be the place for adult Star Wars.
I'm paranoid and I double cross, so it's right on my alley.
There we go.
I'm always giving stuff to fucking other shows. I just don't tell you. No.
What? That's you?
I'm the double crosser.
I knew it was you. I should have shot you when we had to climb that fence in El Segundo, and you were like, "I don't climb."
You know what that reminds me of? What's that trailer with Nick Cage and Mando? Right, where Mando hires Nick Cage, and they're trying to climb a wall.
Yeah, that would be me for sure.
I'm afraid that trailer's so good. I'm like, can the movie ever live up to this? Like,
yeah, it's either going to be like that great the whole time, or we're seeing the best stuff in the trailer. Yeah, I can't tell which.
Right.
But Pig was pretty good, so Cage might be back, baby. Cage might be back.
And don't put any off Mando, dude. Whatever his fucking name, Mando. Super good. Yeah.
I call him Stash. What's up, Stash? If I ever see him, I'm gonna be like, "Hey, Stash, how's it going?" Baymax says Rob's telling how the blank screen bit of Lego Batman is the best laugh he's ever had at the theater. Is fast becoming his paper moon. Yes, we all have a paper moon. Mike Porter said, "I'm starting Rebels." Oh,
now I can never mention Lego Batman again because
I thought maybe that was a euphemism.
Okay, second funnest fucking moment in Lego Batman merch gun where he's hitting the orphans with free merch. It's fucking hilarious. How about that? You're all orphans. I can literally pay to keep you out of here, but here's free merch. Boosh.
So, Mike, I think Mike, being a huge Star Wars fan, will probably enjoy it and not take it too seriously. I will say with Rebels, pay attention to the storytelling more than the execution of it at times. I know that's a weird request, but I'm watching Rebels again too on a rewatch, and as I'm going through it, I'm like, there's so much good quality story here, and when you let some Ezra Bridger tripping over bullshit like get in the way, you kind of like lose out. So that's my only advice is look at what they're doing with the story and the opportunities and the world building, and it's pretty good, man. And it gets better. It gets better as it goes on. It gets less corny as time goes on. Baymax says, Jason, have you done the groundwork on Andor to the same extent as Kenobi? The answer to that is no, I haven't.
It's overseas, it's harder, right? You can't meet up for like a beer and shit.
I mean, I did it like 4 or 5 times though before. You know what I mean? With the films, none of the films have been here, and I've done it for those ones. It is harder though. It is more work, but Andor was going on as I was in my most down and defeated, and boy, is the Star Wars community shit hole.
Your Kenobi years, right?
I was in the cave, man. Right. I was in the cave, and
people forget that's how long this has been in production.
I started covering. The funny part is I started covering Kenobi when most people didn't even know it was really going to be a thing. They thought it was like a rumor, and I know stuff from all the way back then. I just don't want to go all out with that stuff and start giving people the ability to reconfigure things to seem like it was better. Does that kind of make sense?
So if you tell them what could have been, then they would have been like when. Look, I love Kathleen Kennedy, but when she went out there and was like, it used to be bleak, I'm like, why are you already doing this, folks, dude? Why are you doing this? Now in their heads, they're going to think that meant it was fucking better. You know what I mean? And you gave him the corny shit when that's not the case at all. Like,
it was bleak and boring.
Stop.
No, it was literally the premise was bleak and boring. And that's just the truth. It just what we are getting.
I know stuff, and it was stupid.
Yeah,
I can't. I'm not even gonna say it, but because it was dumb. Like we'll have these conversations later, but like, folks, it was not better.
No,
this is me. It's not better.
No. No. Once I heard about certain things, it definitely. And Santa says Meg has all the Andor tea. Well, she needs to start giving it to me because I am a thirsty man. I'm a thirsty man. Come on, Meg. I'm a thirsty boy, Meg. I want to start. Give us some tea, Meg. Keep your sugar. We don't need it. We use Splenda over here. Tell us, Meg. Tell us now. Stevia. This guy's using stevia. Stevia Nicks is my new name. Mike Porter says it's dinner time. Mike Porter is getting up there because it's 2:45. It's not dinner time. You can't eat dinner at 2:45. Come on. I guess it's probably like 5:45 over where you're at, maybe.
It's like intermittent fasting. I like to eat around 4 in the morning, so I got to stop eating at fucking 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to Meg dropping that stuff already. Come on. But yeah, I have some things lined up for Andor to talk about. But Andor's still a little ways away, and I need a couple of more things just to know. I know what I'm talking about. I like to be.
And I got these
as correct as I can be.
Go ahead.
No, I just want to be.
I got these photo archive books that I've yet to fucking purge on this. So when there's nothing to talk about, we'll be looking at books, and then no one will watch the show. But we'll have fun.
No, yeah, this show is for the hardcore making of Star Wars people. You know, that's the way I look at it. Justin says also when they mentioned John and Dave giving suggestions to Deborah to go bigger, it's like, yeah, give YouTube more fuel to discount her. I'm sure those two had input, and I don't get why you put that in. Let me ask you this, Justin. I don't know if I have my shit confused. Was the Go Bigger stuff officially a part of the EW stuff? Or was that from the leak from the trades that was incorrect about Maul? Because if they did put that in there, I don't remember if I'm correct there, but if they did do that, oh boy, that's dumb. Hey, thanks for the super sticker, Mike. Mike is eating a calzone. Man, that sounds
fat
pretty
calzone.
Good. I like calzones. I'm kind of like Garfield inside, and that one character who doesn't like Mondays. I like calzones, and I don't like Mondays.
I got outbid on a Garfield strip last night. It really pissed me off. I thought I found there's a bunch of them and that got dumped on Heritage, and I was like, well, this one no one will fucking pay attention to. One motherfucker found it and then outbid me by a lot.
Was it for like original art or like just
original art? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was them on the farm. Like the farm is like the Christmas episode. So it's not even an old strip. It's from 2004. So I figured they won't pay attention, but some asshole with money can just go out there and fucking Like owning a real Garfield strip would be something I'd like to have because that is where I really taught myself how to draw.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But apparently you need at least $3,000 to drop down a fucking piece of art, so that's not going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot, man. I got Star Wars Insider gave out the film cells from the Ewoks cartoon. They just if you were a subscriber, everybody got one. And like that year's packet of stuff, and boy, I got a good. I don't have it anymore. A girl I lived with in college, she has it. Who knows what she did with it? But I had Wicket and Nisa, and they were like picking berries off of a tree or something. But it was pretty good because it was like the two heroes of the show, like the cell with two heroes in it. Like some people got like a fucking donkey or something. I got like the two heroes. I was like, wow, that's great. Wish I had that today, but man, that calzone sounds good. I wonder if I can. No, I can't eat it. I'm on a diet. I can't have the calzone. You're the devil, Mike Porter.
Stick to it, my friend.
I know that calzone though.
I'm at the point now where my barber was like, "Man, you have lost weight." I'm like, "Yeah." Like it does pay off.
Good work. Good work, Chunk.
Now my wife's like, no, I go to work out. I'm like,
Do the truffle shuffle, Chunk. No, I'm kidding.
I don't have enough. Last summer I could have. Like
Last summer you could have Goonies.
100%.
It was the official Kenobi. Yeah, that definitely. I mean, on one hand, I think if they did it that way, they were trying to have like, oh, Dave and what do you call it, gave some input. Oh, you're right. It's when they were talking to like Deborah Chow. Yeah, something tells me that that was packaged in a bad way, or it was packaged in a way to make that grift available, so to speak, that angle. Because I'm going to be honest with you guys, I think Deborah Chow is probably a better director than Favreau and Filoni, and that doesn't mean to say she would be as big of a profitable popcorn making machine for Disney as somebody like Jon Favreau. Like that's a certain sensibility, but if
she's 100% better director than Filoni, like it's not even.
Filoni is grown a lot as a live action director, and he's directed some fucking great things in animation. So I'm not taking that from him, but I mean, you know, the work that when you see what Deborah Chow's done, when you watch her episodes of Star Wars and Mr. Robot, you really can see.
Deborah Chow could direct Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, Superman. Sense and Sensibility, the part 3. Filoni's only done Star Wars. You understand what I'm saying?
but also to be clear, like this isn't like a dick sizing thing where everybody gets up and like who's the best. Lucasfilm works, the story group works as a peer review group. If you like when you're in college or if you're an academic and you're writing a paper, it gets, before it goes into a journal, a group of your peers reads it and they criticize the fuck out of it and they beat you up and they all have their stupid fucking angles for things and how they want it to go and what they think it should be. And then you have to revise that until the peer review group cannot say anything.
The guys working on the Sonic films, right? They release stuff and then the whole internet gets a hold of it and they have to go back and fix it. But you know what? They are the one people who are reacting and it's working. Like the movies have gotten better. Like that's crazy.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah. So in a weird way, it's a lot like an academic, journal or whatever. I mean, your stuff gets reviewed by your peers at Lucasfilm. And it gets beat up, and then it goes out. I don't know why Book of Boba got out the way it did. I don't know how that happened, but it appears.
I'll tell you why. Because they were all watching Lego Batman, and apparently they were laughing so hard from the first 5 seconds. There's a black screen. I don't know if you know this. There's a black screen in Lego Batman, and they were just laughing so much. Someone forgot to actually make the changes of Boba Fett, and then they laughed about it again when the show came out. Like, oh, it's so funny.
But what I think everybody has to remember is that Kenobi, A Star Wars Story, was a film, and I think that is like the big difference. Is it was going to be a movie, so I feel like it got all of its Boba Fett style development out of the way. All of the bullshit that you have in Book of Boba Fett, all of those things they threw at the show, I feel like they worked it out. They got past it by the time they got to the series. And who was it? What was his name? Jabroni? What's his name? Joby Harold. Joby Harold came out and he was like, he said that he aggressively came at them with how things should be. And I think in doing so probably was like, yeah, like it should happen like this. And then they were able to condense those ideas. And I think like the story structure.
But that's what I was talking about when we saw Boba Fett. I'm like, you need someone who passionately is like, here's the fucking vision from the beginning. Not like, well, it could be that and then this and we'll see where it goes and we'll kind of work it out as we work along. Like, that's not it. You don't want that.
Yeah.
You want someone who's like, no, it's like this. This is how it is. Like you want someone who feels that way, Right. I mean, it doesn't mean they're always right, but they have to have a clear idea of what the totality of the project is. Versus, when you're watching a lot of American animation and you feel like each scene was you can tell each scene was animated by someone different and it was all put together because it's like every scene's trying to top the next scene. Doesn't feel like a cohesive moment. feels like a bunch of overacted scenes, you know?
Okay.
Boba Fett was like that, but imagine if they were like, let's go subtler. Let's do even less, you know?
Let's try it with the art of subtlety.
Yeah. With respect.
With
Loki.
because he wants to rule with respect. So
Shiwi-ash.
thematically it works.
Like Shiwi-ash.
Mike
Shiwi-ash.
I just saw what was on CBS.
It's a great clip, man. It's a great clip. That's the one I'd never seen. That's a new one for me when you did that. I'm like, I've not seen that one. It's great.
So Mike Porter eating a calzone porter says, I'm eating a cheesapalooza with pepperoni and ground beef. Dude,
He should be eating porterhouse steak.
I need more grease on it. I need more grease.
Just dip it right in there.
Just dip it right in there. By the way, I took my daughter to see Labyrinth in the theater. We went and did it. It was a good time. And as we're walking in, she's like, Dad, you know, my kids are very spoiled, but I have them thinking that they're not, to be honest with you. And she's like, Dad, it would just be so cool if we could have popcorn. And I'm like, of course I was going to buy her popcorn, but I got her thinking she ain't going to get a popcorn. I don't want her expecting that she gets things, you know? But of course I'm like, yeah, okay, we'll get it. So we get it. And she's like, do you want some? I'm like, Dad's on the diet. I'm not eating the popcorn. And she's all, you sure you don't want any? And she hands it to me. I take it and I go, no, this won't do. And once I say, no, this won't do, she knows. And she goes, my dad
She's like, I
needs
make
grease.
it paisan.
No, so my dad needs more grease. How do we get more grease on this? And then the manager sees us. And I'm like, this won't do. And she's like, my dad needs more grease. So I was very proud of my daughter. I gotta say, I haven't let her, for the record, I have not let her watch The Greasy Strangler, but I have shown her clips of The Greasy Strangler, and she loves it. It's kind of a mistake. She thinks it's hilarious.
Yeah, these years, they go away. Soon they never want to talk to you again for like 10, 15 years, and then they come back. But,
I know, right? Yeah. It was the official Kenobi story. And then he says, actually, maybe I mixed that up. Ignore that. Yeah, I'm not sure if you did. And I'm not sure if I'm getting mixed up, but
I thought that was in this news story.
In the mall story.
Yeah, to go bigger.
I think so. I think it was too. I don't think anyone's
officially was like on camera saying that, so I don't know, man.
And that's what. And you know, I've wondered. Okay. In my Saw Gerrera paranoid moment.
Paranoia. Saw Gerrera paranoia. We gotta do that.
Paranoia. Saw Gerrera paranoia. Yeah. In those moments, I wonder. I'm like, am I squirting too hard? Am I squirting so hard? Maybe they're planning fake stories now to muddle it, to make people think like there's something different going on here. But I probably had nothing to do with it. It's probably just me getting paranoid and seeing everything from my own perspective. But
I don't think
it is
put that much effort into it. Jason.
Well, it just yeah, I know. Well, no, it's just weird that like I still can't figure out that story. And the only thing I could think of is that there's one leaker who's always faking stuff, but who gets things right a lot. But also is always faking stuff and like saying, you know, oh, they're making this game into a movie and that kind of thing constantly because he knows how to like bait people. And I'm wondering if he's the one who they talked to because they knew he had one thing
Yoda
right.
stories getting made into a movie.
Yoda stories, yeah.
So
I don't know how many times they're going to remake the Old Republic. I'll tell you that much.
Rebel Assault.
It's like it's that funny clock thing though, where when you've been saying since 2014 they're going to be remaking a game, and then they eventually do. Just like episode 10, you're not right if you say episode 10's coming out just because you said it and then it eventually happens.
Bombad Racing's getting made into a movie.
Oh shit, I'd watch that.
I would too.
I would watch that.
It's gonna be like it's a mad Gungan world, you know. We're gonna recreate Jonathan Winters and he's just gonna tear up Coruscant, you know, just like in
yeah.
There's some other movie references, fucking dicks. You know, there's my paper moon. And my paper moon is referencing shit you've never seen. How about that?
Baymax says, understandable. Thanks, or think that makes a lot of sense regarding Andor. Well, I'm sure I speak for a lot of spoiler fans who whore glad. Yeah, he said whore. Whore glad you got back on the horse and are galloping with a middle finger to the wannabes. Thank you, man. Yeah, true. You know, and that was kind of what this has been. You know, because at the end of the day, like, thank God, my sources were like, what the fuck? And a lot of my friends didn't do that, which is actually like super, like my friends who weren't like, what the fuck? And didn't even like ask me or my friends who wouldn't even look at it because they didn't care what the truth was. They only cared about how it looks today because I'm in this to sell fucking t-shirts. Like that part right there really sucks. Kind of ironic that you and I became friends in the aftermath of friends fucking me over for t-shirts and t-shirts literally just making you hate your life a little bit. I feel like t-shirts are bad. T-shirts are bad. Let's go topless. Can we become the first topless Star Wars? I think it's time.
The only thing worse than t-shirts is me topless. Trust me. You know
if you love
even
the
when I was 19 years old in the army and I was doing like 200 push-ups a day, I had no physical physique. It just doesn't exist for me. Like no genetics.
No, I planned on being in a 27 club. I didn't think I thought I was gonna be a rock star by about 22, and I would be dead by 27. I expected to be doing heroin with Courtney Love. That was my plan. I didn't think that was going to make it to this point. So.
Well, I'll say this: when I did find out about your controversy, I took one look at it. I'm like, none of this makes any sense. Like, at the worst, I figured, maybe the dude was hadn't played the market in a while and just picked the wrong people to talk to. Like, that's it. I
feel like it's still in a very accurate.
I hear you, but I'm saying at the time hadn't known nothing. This is before I even talked to you, right? I'm like, I just don't give a shit. Like, only time I care is when real fucking problems have occurred. That one problems, you know. This is just nonsense. I got a good nonsense meter. You know, Rob, you can take people serious. Yeah, I do take people serious, but I also got a good fucking nonsense meter. And then having talked to you, I'm like, yeah. And then you were like, check this out. I'm like, oh, then there you go. You know what I mean? Like, you were like, yeah, look at this, look at that. I'm like, oh shit. And then you were like, I told him I wouldn't take it to the whatever, wouldn't make a video. I was like, you probably should make a video. Like, it just took you like 6 months to do it. You know, like I'm like, you should have made that video a long time ago.
I mean,
it was ridiculous.
What was funny was like a lot of or not a lot, but a few of the people who should have been in my corner were like, it's not going to matter. You shouldn't do it.
Bullshit.
I was completely wrong.
Yeah.
I should have. I wish I had got the strength to go at it sooner, instead of letting somebody who claims to have 11 fucking people inside of them dictate the person who I am. That fucking maniac. Fuck you.
Moon Knight. You were dating Moon Knight.
Sorry. I get a little carried away sometimes.
That was your most Curb moment right there.
That was my Larry David breaking out moment.
Yeah, you're Larry David.
It's gonna happen.
Brain farting. Yeah,
but I got more grease. You know, I got that grease lightning going. They should make Greasy Strangler 2 grease lightning.
Grease is your paper moon. You won't ever shut the fuck up about Grease now.
Oh man, it's so good, dude. It's so.
And
good.
you don't even like John Travolta.
No,
you figured that one out.
I think I need to tell Baymax. I watched The Greasy Strangler 3 times on Internet Movie Database's streaming service with ads. I couldn't do it the 4th time with the ads.
That's a thing? Oh, IMDb has a streaming service?
If you go on the Amazon Prime and you search for Greasy Strangler, it'll be like you could buy this movie or you could watch it with ads via IMDb. And that's what I did. But I bought it. I bought The Greasy Strangler. I now own it. And I have now watched The Greasy Strangler 5 times. It's piquant. I love it.
I just wish that if the ads were like appropriate for the person who would watch the Greasy Strangler. Like it was weird ads for like sex toys and maybe Mark Rebier fucking like, you know, concerts and shit. I'd be like, I'll watch those ads, but they're always dumb fucking ads. Like if I'm watching toys, like cartoons, and you can watch these with ads, and all the ads were fucking for like toys and super soakers and Legos, I'd watch all the ads. The problem is they haven't figured out to pair the content with fucking ads that match the person who's watching that content. They're fucking ad over and over again.
Dude, all I know is from watching the Greasy Strangler on IMDb a few times is I could get this some kind of like mortgage loan on my house and do whatever I want right now.
Right. Like they would be more suited to running ads from the 80s. I'd go out there if they ran Coca-Cola ads and McDonald's ads from the 80s for shit we can't even buy now. I'd probably still be way more inclined to go to McDonald's and buy Coca-Cola.
Yeah,
and I will always call it Coca-Cola now, thanks to you. But
you're welcome. You're welcome. It is what it's called.
So no one can get confused and they don't think I'm Rick McCalling after the fucking show. I'll go grab some Coke,
dude. After
allegedly.
I was watching the beginning the other day, and they were filming the Phantom Menace out in Tunisia. They have these giant Pepsi umbrellas for their shade. Did you ever notice that?
No.
When they're filming in the desert, all of the giant umbrellas for the cast and crew, they're all Pepsi. They're all giant Pepsi ones, and I'm like,
well, they paid me a lot of money, Jason. You know, I gotta. They have to live up to my legacy of taking Pepsi money. So,
but Greasy Strangler, it has an all MIDI synth score. It's fucking so good. Like I honestly, I am to the John Williams part of my Greasy Strangler love affair, where I'm watching it to listen to the soundtrack because I'm like, this is fucking good. It's good. It's truly.
Meanwhile,
truly
I'm
good.
sending you clips from the new Kirby game. I'm like, this music's great.
It was good. It was good.
It was good, right?
Yeah.
The whole game it's probably the best soundtrack Nintendo's put out in a long time. Like every track is great. Even if you don't like Kirby, the new Kirby and the Forgotten Land, the soundtrack's amazing. That's how much of a nerd I am.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I knew that about you. Just the first day I met you. I'm kidding.
You see them ears? Nerd ears.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get to be cool with ears like that. Not even Will Smith could pull that off.
Well, thank you to everyone who's a channel member, Rob included. Rob is also a channel member to the show he's on. I don't know why. You're one of the first. You definitely are a top tier cult member. I'll say that much.
I signed up the day you made it possible. Like that's
thanks.
Wasn't the first one because I don't but it was that day. So
yeah.
Like,
yeah. No, and Mike Porter like jumped through, and once again, thank you, Mike Porter, for the support and everything, dude. But Mike Porter had to like jump through hoops to be able to like, you know, become a member because of how hard they make it. And so if you jump on a PC or a Mac and you go on your browser and you just go to the MakingStarWars.net's YouTube page, you could just join that way. But if you try to do it on mobile, that's when it gets a little more confusing. And I have a link in the description that may work, but I can't become a channel member on my own show, so I'm not totally sure. But I do put a link in there to the Patreon or to the to become a channel member. So hopefully that one works. But if it ever doesn't work, just let me know and we'll like figure it out. Also, for channel members, I posted an article to the RSS link to get these shows as audio only versions. So that way you could add that into your podcatcher. And I think Mike Porter might have been the one who asked me, what's a podcatcher? That's like your podcast app, whatever app you use for getting your podcast. You just go to click and you just click like add, and then you choose like the RSS, you just paste the RSS link in there. And then it will start pulling the new episodes as podcast if that's how you prefer to have them. But I have to upload them after the show comes out. Like they have to process and stuff. Then I download them and upload the audio. So just a heads up.
Add in the fart noises too.
The woo whistles and stuff. Yeah, all the laugh track every time I say something I think is funny, I put a laugh track. But when Rob does, I don't. It's so fucked up.
It goes ooh.
Uh-oh, something saucy's going on. But yeah. So, anyways, yeah. Thanks to everyone who supports the show and has supported the show, and the channel growth has been really good. I'm very, very happy about that, and I appreciate that. And everybody who's checking the site every day and getting past the gatekeeping and the bullshit. I appreciate it. Love you guys and gals and thems and theys. Love everybody. Appreciate it. It means a lot. And but we got some fun stuff lined up here in the future too. So I didn't mean to be seen like I was like, this is it. I didn't mean to sound like that earlier because it's not. I have a lot of stuff lined up. I got a lot of irons in the fire always. And we have some good Kenobi stories still coming though. Just now I'm to the point where I'm thinking like, I think the majority of this, I think like basically in terms of spoilers, if I put more, people would just be like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. You did that. Like it's not the stuff where it won't really matter very much. But I got interesting
Does
stuff.
Kenobi shit in the cave or out of the cave?
Oh, he shits in his hand and then he buries it in sand. He says,
With the sabers.
He says, burying another lightsaber is what he says. And he also looks up and he goes, now my name's Rey Skywalker. Every time he does it.
Ooh.
But yeah. But I mean,
controversy, as Star Wars Meg would say. Controversy.
This is the kind of show that you would not see on basic TV. This is a cable show.
I just saw what was on CBS.
Yeah. And it doesn't have any space battles that I know of.
I like spaceships.
But it,
And I cannot lie.
I like spaceships and I cannot lie. I punched Steven Spielberg in the eye, bitch. Bitch.
Right in front of his girlfriend. And he couldn't tell his wife because he was still married.
Oh shit. You went there. I'm trying to get us out of here, to be honest with you, but I gotta drop this. I gotta drop this bomb on everyone. Wait, where's it at? I know I got it. I thought I had it. Do I have it? I got it. Here we go.
It's too late.
No, I think this is how we're going to leave the show right here. It's just on this final image. This fucking fuck you, Steven Spielberg. I'm starting a new family. Right here, look at him. He's like, Steven thinks he can do this. He's like, I'm George Lucas. This is called the special edition. This is time travel. This is my new family.
I'm going to make the original Young Indiana Jones Chronicles. I was just going to take them both and cut Harrison out, and it's just going to be us, And
yeah, man, look at that beard. Look at that thing though. Thing's fucking magical. George Lucas. All right, guys. We done it. We
ass-eating beard.
He's all.
I don't even know.
What's his name? What's his name? Had a pussy. Kurt has a pussy eating beard. How's he gonna top it? How's he gonna top it, you guys? Stupid. I think we know.
So stupid.
But
all right, it's been too late.
We are getting silly now. That's just a fact. Mike Porter, thanks for hanging out.
Someone left when I made the joke.
People are like, this party's over.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna end the show now. Thanks everybody. Like the video if you haven't. If you're watching this on a replay and you're still watching, you're crazy. Thank you. We love you. But like the video, you savage. And we'll be back tomorrow, 11 a.m. talking about whatever's on our mind, whatever the news of the day is. All right. Is that a deal? Deal.
It's not about spaceships.
Making Star Wars Show.